Bro, you look like Bad Bunny.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Could be worse things to look like, I guess.
Dan Colosimo, welcome to the channel, bro.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Let's
excited, man.
fucking go. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be getting an opportunity to finally do this face-to-face. We met a couple years ago. We've been interfacing for some time, and I'm happy that we're finally getting to do this on the pod.
Yeah, it was definitely overdue for sure.
It was overdue. You can just get a little closer to the mic. You got to hold it about a fist from your face. Yeah, it's annoying. You're going to have to hold it, but here, just like that. Yeah, you're good. You hear yourself?
Yeah.
It's better.
Beautiful.
So, no, he was an awesome teacher. He taught us in grade 10, 11, grade 9, 10, 11. And he would the reason he would get in trouble at this Catholic boys' school is because he would also preach, he would preach like a build a God type of worldview. He'd be like, listen, there isn't one deity that you have to worship within the context of a religion. He was saying that there might just be like one force in the universe that is out there, and you can get closer to that through Jesus' teachings because he was an enlightened guy, but you can also get closer to enlightenment by listening to the shit that the Buddha said, or whatever, or is recorded as having said. Whether he said it or not, who fucking knows? But yeah, that got him in trouble with some of the Jesuits. But he was cool. He was a really cool guy.
I feel like there's always at least one or two teachers in high school that are just so different than your other teachers, and you feel like you connect to them so much better, and you just sort of resonate with them, and it makes the class so much more interesting.
They're the realest guys. Yeah. Those are the ones that you like. Those are the ones that you grow to really remember.
For sure.
Yeah. So no, I remember at one point. There was a kid who we had to share a story on. I don't know. I think we had to just sort of pull a switcheroo in a story. I think it was an exercise. It was a writing exercise, and then we had to read it to the class. And this one kid was talking about how he was really scared before embarking on this thing, and he had a guy on his back, and he was really concerned. He wasn't sure if it was safe or if he was gonna reap the consequences of it, and he was really concerned. But once he got off to the races, he was screaming with pleasure, and he was like, "I'll always remember the first time I went skydiving," or something like that. And the teacher, fucking Mr. Ketterling was like, that was beautiful. He'd be like, thought you were talking about something a little different there. Maybe a homosexual experience. That was beautiful. That was flawlessly executed. But just the realness, just to say, I thought you were talking about a homosexual experience, and not not addressing it.
Yeah.
Just being very straightforward. He would sometimes reduce your grade, or claim to take grades off, because you said a certain thing in class, but then he'd arbitrarily add it back. If you came into school with a cool shirt tie combination,
okay,
because we had a dress code. It wasn't so we all had business suits. It wasn't like a uniform. It was you would come in a suit, so he'd go +1 for you, shirt tie combo, looks good. Or that's another. Or I don't know if he'd dox you points. Actually, I think he would just add bonus points, and you'd have to mark it down and say what it was. He'd ask you a question I don't know. We'd be reading 1984. They were talking about Victory Gin, which was this garbage gas. It was this kerosene fucking gin that I think was for the masses in the book, and he was saying bad gin is terrible for you. It gives you a terrible hangover. Have good gin with cucumber, lime. What do you mix it with? Tonic, sir. +1 for you. Dumb shit like that. Remember, one of the most proud moments I ever had in high school was I answered a random question that I don't think he thought anyone would know the answer to. I just said Wales. He was asking something about Stonehenge or fucking, I don't know, about miners in the UK. I said Wales. I don't remember what the question was, but he was like, "How'd you know that?" I go, "I don't know. I think I read it somewhere. +1 for you." But
Wow.
he was impressed. I was like, "Wow, it's awesome." He would give us nicknames. Mine was Ponzi at one point. We had to use code names. He would post our grades online.
Okay.
And you had to, dude, this guy was awesome. He had his own private website, and he would say, "I want you all to submit your code names right now.
Okay.
I will grade you on your code name. It's worth 5% of your grade."
Dude.
And yeah, so he would talk about how he's an Irish twin with his brother. They're born in the same year, the same calendar year. So one year I made mine Irish twin, and I fucking knocked it out of the park, you know, and I was so happy. And, and he would post everyone's grades, and he would get in trouble. He would give you 305 till 5, which is like a private detention. It was outside of the confines of what a regular detention is with the school. He wouldn't give you like a regular detention. He'd say, no, 305 till 5. You come to sit in the classroom from 305 till 5, and he would let you out whenever he decided to. So it wouldn't often be till 5. It would just be like 15 minutes, you know? Yeah. Sometimes he'd be an hour. Sometimes he would actually like want to fuck around with you guys. Like you'd have like 4 guys there, and he would just talk with them and like debate stuff. So it was actually good. You weren't really in detention.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so if you would call guys by your pseudonym in the class, by your code name, he would give you 305 till 5. My brother, I think, got one of the highest grades ever, because he picked this. I think his code name was Sue. S-U-E Donim. Sue Donim.
That's genius.
He was cool. Yeah, he was a cool guy.
It probably made you want to go to this guy's class. Like, you were so excited.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about him now. I actually want to pop in and visit. Sometimes you'd have guys that would pop in and visit and say, you would always have to ask permission to enter the class, you know?
Of course, yeah.
And he would nod, you know? So you'd have like guys who had graduated for years, like adults now, you know, coming to the door. Mm-hmm. 2:00 on a Tuesday, whatever, if they're like on break at university, and they would just go permission to enter. I mean, yeah, it was great. He was the best. He still is.
If I was a teacher, I would at least aim to be somewhat like that, because there's so many teachers that are just there to not grab the check, but you know, they're there to be in and be out, and just sort of not really have that lasting effect on kids. But like, probably the reward is so much bigger if you're that teacher. You know what I mean? Bonding with the kids. You
have to want to do it.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. I mean. Some people just don't have the personality for it, and that's fine. Like they serve, you know, they teach differently. Like I've had more subtle teachers that I liked. It feels like those few wild cards are the ones that everyone remembers
for sure.
You know. So let me turn up your mic a little bit here.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. So you were telling me, fuck. So we're in Etobicoke, Ontario right now, in the heart of Toronto, and I've not been here for like 10 years. Since I've been in, you know, since driving, I've not come to the city. So I'm kind of like gathering intel and figuring out what's what, you know. And by the way, you guys have weird highways, like
yeah, it's not the greatest.
What's not the roads themselves, but what I find specifically weird is like once you get into the GTA, they start pumping out weird messaging on signs, like, you know, about like safety, but it's really weird stuff they choose to focus on. They're like, pump your tires.
Yeah. The standard wear your seatbelt ones are acceptable.
Don't drive high.
Yeah.
But then they try to translate it into French for some reason, even though no one speaks French in Ontario. Basically, I mean, I think it might technically be one of the official languages of Ontario. I'm not sure, because there's like a bunch of people out east that I think speak it. I don't know if that's why they have to include French, but the translations fucking suck. Like they're like, don't drive high, and in French they say, ne conduisez pas gelé. Don't drive gelé, frozen. I've never heard of that in my life.
So the translation just doesn't work.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not a francophone, but I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, I'm gathering intel on Toronto and just gauging what the vibe of the city's like.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that yesterday. So anything interesting that you tell me about the city, I'm gonna just, you know, file and say, oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. You were telling me that someone got abducted. There was an attempted abduction next to your house at a mall.
Yeah. So for some reason, I'm not sure why this wasn't on the news, but I remember
it wasn't on the news.
It wasn't. So after I heard this from a family friend, I go on Twitter and just search the mall name.
Twitter's where you get your news now, bro.
I know, it's like the morning paper in the morning, man.
Yeah. I've literally gone to Twitter in the last couple of weeks. It happened a couple times where I was like, what am I doing? I'm tuned into my own brain for a second. I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to Twitter to search for news.
I know
about something that happened. I looked up the stock market. I looked up Credit Suisse on Twitter.
Not even Google, just Twitter search.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah.
To find Reuters articles, or Washington Post, or whatever the fuck, or Wall Street bets, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever comes up, right? I'm not searching for long-standing, institutions, of journalism, right? No, I'm picking up whatever I'm seeing, whatever it feeds me. but yeah, it could be a good newspaper source, could be Wall Street Bets, could be a Redditor, right? Could be like yeah, whatever. Some guy who's big on 4chan who has like a big following on. Yeah, exactly. I have no fucking clue. I'm just looking up stuff on Twitter.
But that's Twitter, man. You gotta know what to expect when you're hitting that search tab.
Yeah. Sometimes you forget. You just search for stuff, and whatever you see, you just think, okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So what I was saying was, after I went on Twitter, because once I heard this story, I thought there's no way possible, especially because I hadn't seen anything on the news. But then you go on Twitter and it's people talking about it, saying, how come anybody hasn't addressed this incident that happened at the mall? And what ended up happening was the rumor is that this kid was like, unfortunately, the victim of a potential abduction that happened. And, I guess these guys are pros because it happened so quick that they immediately change the clothes, try to shave their heads so that nobody can recognize this kid.
You were telling me that's fucking nuts, man. You were telling me that they found her. What exactly happened? You were just telling me a second ago, but I was setting up the pod and also, to discuss it now into the mic for people listening, but also just maybe I'm a little unclear on it. You said that she was in the mall going to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the gender neutral one. So I think what might have been happening is because there's both males and females in there, some guys could potentially just be chilling.
Well, how do you know? How do you know it was a male?
That's true.
How do you know?
The story hasn't been completely covered right now, so everything's kind of just up in the air. But
how do you know that it was a male? It could have been. It could have been. Listen, Ghislaine Maxwell was a pro. I don't think she was getting her hands dirty herself, but she was one of the biggest sex traffickers of all time. Conversely, how do you know that Jeffrey Epstein at any point in time that he was molesting women or girls wasn't himself a woman? We don't know.
We don't.
know.
We'll probably never know either.
We'll never know. I guess we'll never know. Yeah,
but
it's one of my favorite TikToks ever.
Oh, dude,
you know the one?
Yes, of course. And it's like, so I try to limit my TikTok usage now because it's just I'll find myself like 2 or 3 hours just evaporate on that app, man.
Yeah, I'm thankful to say I haven't lost hours on TikTok in a considerable amount of time because I've gotten ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
and I'll lose time on YouTube. I've talked about this
understandable.
Before. My Insta and YouTube algos know me better than I know myself.
Same.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. YouTube knows me to a T.
Mm-hmm.
MMA, football, the occasional political debate, little travel, little food.
Yeah.
Over for me. Rogan clips.
Oh, yeah.
Stand-up clips. It gives me shorts now, too. Bill Burr ranting about baseball.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Yeah. It knows me. It knows me better than I know myself.
And it throws like the weird little recommendation that maybe wasn't known to everybody, but it's kind of, hey, I kind of dig that and I kind of want to see it. Like some random nature video. And then you just go down this wormhole. But yeah, YouTube knows me to a T, man. It's kind of scary.
So no, what I do on TikTok now is when I open TikTok, I do this on Instagram too, actually, is I'll hold it in such a way that I don't actually see the main screen. And I could just see the bottom tab where I can go to my notifications. Because I'll often go on for business. I'll go on to post a clip. And I don't want to see what the fuck is going on. I want to see if anyone sent me messages. I turn off my notifications on TikTok. So I just rip through messages. Okay. Watch these clips that people send me. Okay. Thumbs up. Boom. Post a clip. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I will open it up and I will put my hand in front of the screen. Or like look in such a way I contort my body so I don't actually see what it's feeding me. And I open it up and I fucking click on my notifs before it gives me something on the For You page, because the second it hooks me in, I'm done.
It's over.
It does a great job of hooking you in with a clip when it knows it's the first one that you're opening up to watch.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. So I deliberately I'll click out of there. Like I'm scared every time that I open it up. Same thing on Instagram. I'll open it to see if I have any DMs, and I'll open it and I'll click DM right away as the feed is loading.
Yeah,
before
it's sad
it
that
show
it's
me
gotten
anything.
to that point.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Yeah. So we'll never know. We'll never know who abducted her, but it happened in a gender neutral bathroom, and people who were able to apply brute force were whoever they were in the gender neutral bathroom, and they
Sadly. And it's crazy because obviously once you hear this stuff, like I'm the type of guy that once I hear stuff like this, like I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch like videos or documentaries pertaining to something similar, and I remember coming across one about Disney World, and they said the rate of child abductions there is like 1 or 2 every hour.
Oh my god.
And I mean, sadly, it makes sense based off the amount of
much
people and the
sense.
amount of kids. Because I feel like if you're there with your kid and you turn around and they're gone, there's just a crowd of people. Where do you even start to look?
Think about the people that go to Disney World too. Think about some of the people that go to. Listen, I've been to Disney World. Okay, my parents are respected. Well, you know, I don't know. I think they're good standing members of society. There's a lot of people that go to Disney World. What the fuck just happened? Detected feedback. What the fuck? Excuse me. Are we still recording? Okay, fuck it. Okay, fuck it. I don't know. Might edit that out. Might keep that in. Doesn't matter. We're still rolling. Okay, my bad. My fucking computer just bugged out. This is a very high tech operation we got going over here. 1 camera, 2 lights, and a
phone.
and a phone, and we're on a couch in a basement.
That's all you need,
That's
man.
the studio. That's the studio right now. At the time of recording, we have 110 subscribers. That's what this gets you. This is what 100 subscribers looks like.
Hopefully, we
Colo
can jump
99.
to 111 at least by the end of this.
Yeah.
That'd be massive.
Yeah, we're actually at 112, so 111 would be yeah.
Oh,
it would,
downgrade?
It would,
Okay.
Yeah, be a little downgrade. Are you subbed?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, great. So it's like you fucking hate your experience so much. You're the one who unsubs. You know?
Right now?
Yeah. No. So Disney World. Everyone kind of goes to Disney World. I get it. Okay. There's some people who've never gone to Disney World. I get it. You had to, you know, I'm sorry. You know, if you never had an opportunity to go to Disney World, you live in North America, whatever. I'm sorry. A lot of people I know have been. It's like a thing when you're a kid. Everyone wants to go to Disney World. A lot of parents will make an effort to, you know, fork out the fucking money to go there. So I understand that you do have a lot of, you know, normal families that go there. But when it's like almost every kid that kind of wants to go there, you're getting a very wide range of you're getting a large demographic of people that are going.
For sure.
Right? It's not necessarily one type of person. You're getting a lot of fucking scumbag. Dude, you're getting I mean, you're getting people that eat it, you know, that eat it Hooters. that go to Disney
Most
World.
of them, yeah.
You know, you're getting people that go to Denny's.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that go to Disney World. And I just feel like that's a different cohort of people. It's a different type of human, you know? Like you're getting fentanyl addicts and stuff, or people that are, you know, people recovering opioid users
All
that are
sorts
going
of
to Disney
humans,
World
yeah.
with their kids, you know? Single moms that are going there with their kids who don't even know what the hell's going on. Maybe they, you know, I don't know. Maybe they I don't know. Fucking they went to go get freaky with Mickey Mouse, and they said to their kid, "Hey, listen, go get a corn dog. I'll be back in an hour. Mama's got to go make some money."
I'm sure weirder stuff has happened. Yeah.
You know, well, you got to think of all the crazy people that are going there. It's not Costa Smeralda. You know, it's not Mykonos where it's one type of demographic that's going there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also an unbearable. It's arguably a less endearing type of person that goes to Mykonos. Arguably, but it's the same. It's like the same type of person. It's one demographic that goes there. You're getting a very wide range of people that go to Disney World. So, you know, you're getting a lot of people that maybe shouldn't have become fucking parents that are taking their kid to Disney World.
Oh, for sure. But do you feel
They're trying. They're doing what they can.
do you feel like
commend
that
them,
broad demographic of people is just in the American Disney World, or even like the Paris or the other ones?
The American Disney World for
I
sure.
agree, yeah.
Oh yeah. Is there a Disney World in like Singapore or something?
There's got to be an Asian one.
It's got to be an Asian one. That's a whole different. I mean, I think it's probably fundamental. It's you know, it's probably the same type of Asian tourist that comes to, you know, that goes on excursions on you know, on a double-decker bus in San Francisco or in LA or in New York, and you know, they're also fun to make fun of because, you know, they're you know, they're gawking at everything. They got the selfie sticks out. I'm sure you
Yeah.
get a lot of that at Disney World, but I think it's probably only that one type of person. East Asian society, East Asian culture is very different. I don't know if you have as much of I don't know if you'd have as much of an issue with child abduction at the Asian Disney World, for instance.
Yeah, it's probably a straight up American thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's degeneracy there too. I've seen like Japanese and Korean TV and stuff. I mean, they have Yakuza. They have, you know, people go nuts there. Actually, because of how structured East Asian society is, from what I understand, I've never been. Have you?
No.
Okay, I'd like to at some point. I'm open to it. But I've friends who have gone who have said that it's nuts. I've read about it too. People really rage. Like when they go out, they fucking go out on ragers and you know, on a Friday night, you go out with your boss and you'll just get pissed drunk with him and maybe puke on his shoes and he'll drive you home. It's normal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but you know, Monday, 8 o'clock, you're there with him all day, slaving away. And it's like they gotta let loose. So on the weekend, they go nuts. Friday night, they go nuts. After work, they go nuts.
Understandable.
So it makes sense. You know, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of like undercurrent and stuff you can and can't do. I think. I feel like that would apply to their Disney World. American Disney World is just buck wild, bro.
Yeah,
it's just fucking people from Oklahoma.
It's a free for all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know. It's the cast of Tiger King, man, going down to Orlando.
Yeah, gators in the water and everything.
You know? So that's scary. So you're saying at Disney World there's a high rate of that shit. It makes sense now that I'm thinking about
Unfortunately,
it. For all
does,
the factors listed. Fuck. So this girl was... They tried to abduct her. So sorry. So what exactly happened? From start to finish, from front to back. There's a gender-neutral washroom. I'm sorry. I've been wisecracking here the entire
no worries.
time.
So, well, basically the rumor is... I'm really hoping that either this comes out as fake and I'll look like a chooch, but I'm also hoping that this either comes out on the news and we can finally get some more information.
What have you heard?
But what I've heard is that she was in the washroom, and I'm not sure where exactly the abduction took place. Could have been right outside, could have been in the actual washroom, but I guess she was taken, and by the time her parents or family figured it out,
she was there with her family.
Yeah, they went on a massive chase to find her, which of course makes sense. And I guess by the small chance that they did find her before she got out of the mall, the abductors had already almost transformed her fully. They closed.
So they found her. Her family were able to find her.
Yeah, I'm sure the security was called right away at the mall.
Did they find her like you know drowsy in a bathroom stall somewhere?
No drowsy, nothing. But I think what had happened was they had seen the people sort of with her walking out of the mall.
Okay.
And I don't think they kind of run, because obviously that makes it more of a scene. So they kind of just act nonchalant, and I guess that gives the family more time to sort of give them a chance to find her, which kind of helps. But I think by the time they did find her, so many things had been done to her to sort of help her blend in.
So you're saying they shaved her head, and changed her clothes, or half shaved her head?
Or they were in the process of doing it, and
Jesus
I guess
Christ.
Obviously their goal was to have her unrecognizable so that they can easily just walk out with her.
Dude, that's so fucked up.
Almost hiding her in plain sight type of thing.
So I was telling you before we started that like I've seen documentaries from these like crazy fucking Rumble pages. These like, you know, these fucking these you know, MAGA QAnon type you know, Pizzagate documentaries. Which kind of get dismissed because they're in that same, you know, they're kind of done with that same tone.
Yeah.
Pizzagate was one that, you know, really like that I think that really did a lot of harm to the whole QAnon movement because it was so ridiculous, right? Like I think a lot of the leaked emails that came out, was it Snowden or Assange? I don't know. There were a bunch of leaked emails like from Podesta and shit that had really weird language in it. And it might have been indicative of something. It might have been code. But then like the story got dumbed down to a point that was so ridiculous. Like it was happening in one specific location's basement that it's like, okay, this is a little absurd now.
Yeah.
Let's you know, instead of taking a wider look at it and saying what the fuck's going on here, there is weird stuff going on. It's like it got so ridiculous and people like believed it. You know, wholesale, right? They totally bought it to the point that it was like, okay, this is a bad look for a lot of the people that believe this shit. Like, how dumb are you guys? You know, like, you know, so because of some of the other shit that people that kind of put out things that are labeled as conspiracy theories have like pumped before, you know, because some of that stuff has been a little sus. It's hard to take shit like this seriously. Especially when the stuff that they're claiming is so nuts. But I've heard that like apparently like millions of kids a year go missing. Millions.
It's unbelievable, man.
So when you hear stuff like that, it I don't know. It makes you wonder. That's in Toronto. Imagine what the fuck happens in like Moldova or the Philippines.
I don't think these kids
where there's less of a police state. Yeah. It's fucking bonkers, man. It makes you wonder. You were telling me that your brother-in-law's a cop, and it's a very big issue that is underreported, according to him.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't realize that this stuff kind of happens so close to home type of thing. And it's cool when you get to see, you just get sort of an eye into it that the normal public wouldn't have. And it's just like, this stuff is unfortunately happening everywhere, you know?
What's freaky to me is that they tried to shave her head. It makes sense, but the fact they were able to do it so quickly is fucking scary because it makes you realize how systematic it is.
Yeah, like they have a plan and everything is so structured, and you can tell that these people have probably done this before, which is the worst part. I just feel like, I don't know, ever since that Madeleine McCann documentary dropped on Netflix, it's like, I feel like it's done good because people have been opening their eyes to this stuff, but
yeah,
I don't think enough people.
I didn't watch it, but I know the story. She was the British girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Was she on vacation?
So, yeah, she was her and her family were on vacation in Portugal.
And she disappeared from the room.
She did because her parents ended up going to the hotel bar with a bunch of the other families they were with. And the kids were in the room, and they had this schedule where the parents would go every hour to check on them. And I guess the people lurking in the bushes had seen this type of schedule, and they had almost an hour to play with to take this girl. And she's been gone ever since, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm happy my mom would have let me walk fucking 7 minutes home from school in hindsight.
Yeah, looking back now, it was a good thing.
I'm homeschooling my kids. I think I am. I don't know.
It's getting to that point, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Was your mom nuts with that sort of thing? Was she anal about it? Was she like, you know, an Italian mom? I was the firstborn too. You were telling me you have an older sister, so maybe for the second kid it's a little different. But you know, they were feeling everything out with me first.
For sure.
My brother, it was like, hey, all right. He don't need the car seat no more. The fucking older one don't have it. Fuck it, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear him bitch about it. Why does he not have one anymore? You know. So, he got, I don't know. Stuff was expedited with him.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because I'm older, so they just weren't willing to take risks with me. But I'm happy about it in hindsight.
Looking back now, yeah.
I'm happy about it. You know, it probably would have been fine either way, but I'm not. I understand it now.
So do I. Yeah.
More than when I was 12.
Yeah, of course. I feel like for me, my parents were cool, but growing up, my grandparents living with me, so it was like such a blessing looking back now that they were strict. Obviously, they had the old Italian mindset, but I feel like that just helped me stay on like a straight path throughout, you know?
Yeah, that's good. But then there's also another level of like wanting to let the kids just go out and maybe like take a punch and whatever the fuck happens. Hey, you know, maybe he walks home from school and maybe he gets into trouble with some other kids. Maybe it's kind of good for them, you know? I don't know. Anything to get them out of the virtual world.
Yeah, they need that wake up call. You know what I mean? Whether it's a fight or something.
Maybe I never really had that specific thing happen to me. I'm just talking about like shit that used to happen in the 70s. You hear like older people, like our parents' age, talking about how different it was growing up back then. How kids would just go out and just be out, and they would come back. When they came back, they had a curfew, and they would just be out doing their thing. It's like, hey, what's worse? Them being online on TikTok, you know, or them being out in the real world? You know, I guess exposed, but out in the real world, not on their phone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think our parents are probably better off than what this future generation was.
Well, who the fuck knows? That's what everyone says, right? You know, people have been saying that for hundreds of years. You know, the kids now are fucked.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I was in grade 8, and the grade 7 kids came up into school the year after I was in grade 7. Obviously, we're a year older, and I was like, fuck. We were all like, look at these little fucking fruitcakes. Yeah. So embarrassing.
Yeah, it comes full circle, man.
What's the matter with you? Aren't you embarrassed? I'm turning into Maniscalco, bro.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You know? Fucking banging on the locker. You're banging on the locker? What's wrong with you? You know? Their voices are so high-pitched, they're yelling on the train. I wasn't like that.
No, me neither.
I wasn't like that. What's wrong? What's the matter with these guys? My friends and I were cool a year ago.
Yeah, of course. I remember being in high school and being in grade 12 and thinking like, wow, these kids look so much younger and they're so much more immature. And then 4 years later, I'm talking to those young kids, and they're saying the same thing about the new grade 9s coming in.
Right.
It's just like I said, it comes full circle.
Dude, anyone that's 4 years younger than me, I just assume is a child.
Yeah, they're 12. They're always 12.
No, in my mind, like I'm 25. Like you know, if I was single and a 21-year-old girl, you know, I hit it off with a 21-year-old girl, I would be like, what the fuck am I doing? This is weird. Like you don't understand any of the references I'm talking about here. You don't know about the stock market.
Yeah, born
in
a different time, man.
I coached junior hockey after I stopped playing hockey a couple years ago when I like graduated, and like, you know, I'm like 23 and some of these guys are like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I'm just like giving them advice on life and like what they should do in school. And I'm giving them advice like date, you know, don't date this type of girl, date this type of girl. You should study this, or listen, you know, own equity. Equity's important. Have equity in what you're doing. It's like, you know, I just turned into like this reverend like figure of like, and you know what? Like for some of them it was a little weird, but because they're like, yeah, dude, like you're just like, you're one of our cohorts here. But it's also, I don't know, it would have been a little weird if I was too buddy and chummy with them. It would have felt like there was too big a gap there.
Yeah.
You know, like they looked at me like I was very different, like I was older, and like I was, yeah, oh, you're 23, fuck, you graduated from high school in this year, oh my god, you're a lot older than me, man. I graduated last year. You know, it was weird, you know. Like guys who there are some guys I played with who I was then coaching after I graduated on the team because they were a bit younger. So they were like, okay, like Sam's our boy, you know. Yeah. He's like 2 years older than us, whatever. But the guys who were like 4 or 5 years younger, yeah,
their dad.
They looked at me very different. Yeah, it was odd. So I get it. I get it for real, man. Yeah, I don't know. What's funny is, like, I mean, I've been with my girlfriend for 5 years, so we've changed a lot, but not, you know, we're still the same people.
Yeah.
So I would still fundamentally, like, I think she was a little more naive back then, so was I. We were both naive. But, like, I don't see why I wouldn't date 20 or 21-year-old her now. If I were to meet her now, I'd still be at, like, I would still find her attractive based on, well, physically, you know, I find her good looking, so it's not a surprise. But, like, she's still the same person. So
she was back then, yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I'd probably find maybe the innocence would, like, throw me off a bit more, and I'd be like, oh, like, you know, maybe I'd, like, be a bit more patient with her, you know? I wouldn't be as cynical. I wouldn't, like, you know, rupture her innocence, which has slowly gotten ruptured over time over the last 5 years as she enters adulthood, like you know, like it does for everyone, right? But I don't know what the dynamic will be like. It might have fucked me up. I think we might have only worked because I was, like, a dumb little shit, too. You know, relative
That's
to,
true, actually.
you know, what I am now. I think you know, so while I might have been attracted to her, like, again, as her essence, as her personality, you know, that's what I'm referring to here. Physical attractiveness that's obvious.
Yeah.
You don't get less attractive when you're younger. You know, she's 25 now, she's 26 now, she's 21 then. It's not, you know, it's you're just as attractive. What I'm talking about is just like personality, strictly just who she is. I think I would still be appealed by. I think I would still find her appealing as a person, but I think there might be a little bit of weirdness to it because a 5-year gap is not insignificant. I really only think it worked because I was the same age as her, so it was like we just kind of grew up together.
Yeah, I mean, I think 5 years is, especially at that age, is big for like on an immaturity scale. But I think personality wise, how much do you really change from 21 to 25?
I think just perspectives change. You're still the same person, but it's just like, it's perspectives. I think that's what I think. Because you know, a 25-year-old dating a 25-year-old guy dating a 20-year-old girl it's not the end of the world. No, like you do have 20-year-olds who are, you know, I mean, you work with younger people. Like, you know, I was 22. I started working with guys who are like, you know, 30 years old. We're shooting the shit. We're like just chewing the fat, chopping it up. Like they look at me like I'm a little bit, you know, okay, like I'm a little younger. He's got stuff to learn, but I'm still an adult. Like we're still vibing here, you know. Like it's possible to still have. I think beyond a certain point, you just kind of like morph into a similar level of, you know, just I don't know, being an adult. You evolve with time, but beyond a certain point, it's like, okay, like beyond a certain time or beyond a certain point, I think you just are able to roll with every other adult. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that is. I don't know if it's like maybe 18, 19. I remember when I started working, I was like, you know, 16. My first part-time job in a bakery, an Italian bakery, was like 21, 22, 25-year-old people. Yeah. Some of them were older. And that's when I realized, okay, I you know, I could, there's a convergence that's occurring.
For sure. Yeah. And I feel like those part-time jobs when you're late teens, early 20s, like I was a butcher for about 4 or 5 years. Fuck. At the local grocery store, like just hanging out with
from what, like 17 to like 22 in school.
Yeah, and those are like big ages, man. I just feel like I learned so much at that job compared to like standard corporate jobs now. Like just dealing with people, but then like working with older Italian nunnos and stuff, I just feel like it kind of shaped my 20s, you know?
Okay. So it was like a small butcher that you worked for.
Yeah, well, it was a grocery store, but then like the majority of the guys in there were 40s to 60s, you know?
Okay.
But I just felt like the camaraderie was so cool, but I learned so much working with those guys and seeing how they dealt with people, because I was just like a kid at the time, just fresh out of high school.
Yeah, when you start working with adults or interacting with adults, I think you realize, you know, that even though you might be a little dumb shit with other friends your age, I think you're able to roll with them.
Yeah.
You realize how you may not be that. Yeah, you realize that there's not that much of a gap.
I know, that was the scary part.
You know, yeah, that really fucked me up too. That was one of the times that I realized that, when I started working part time somewhere, I think is when I realized like that there's a bit of a veil of intelligence that comes with like adulthood that you have when you're younger. And then when you get older, you realize that it's kind of all horseshit.
Yeah, you think everybody has it figured out, and then you just realize these guys are just older versions of you
with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard Ben Shapiro talking once about how like one of the greatest disappointments in life is like when you're a kid and you think all the adults are really smart, then you grow up and realize all the adults are idiots. Mm-hmm. But you think like because they just have houses and have money and like can eat Oreos for breakfast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You grow up and realize, oh shit, dude, like I've heard stuff that my parents or just people my parents' age have talked about after like a dinner party. Like drama at a dinner party, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you 16? This is the same shit that I would hear 10 years ago when I was in high school.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on over here? You realize that it's the same types of and listen, that's not good. That's not good. Like when that happens, I think there are people that get turned off by it and say, all right, like what the fuck? What are we doing here? This is bullshit. This is really immature. But people still have, you know, a propensity to do that sometimes. Some people do, you know? I don't know. Yeah, it's like it never really goes away. Dude, I think one of the biggest things that I think the best tool I think that a woman has in her arsenal if she wants to win an argument with you is say you're immature.
Yeah, how do you come back from that?
You can't. It's devastating.
Yeah.
It's devastating. If a girl says you're being really immature right now, it's over. Have you tried throwing it back in their face ever?
I don't even think you can, man.
I've tried, but it just feels.
How do you counter that?
I've tried doing it at another point in time. Not like, no, you're being immature, because then I sound immature.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've tried it out of the blue. I've tried it before to see what would happen, what it would yield, and yeah, I was just met with contempt. Like it was she knew that I was reaching. Mm-hmm. She scoffed at it. It's like, because when they say you're immature, you kind of know like they're right. But it's like, but it's really like, no, I'm just a dude. I have a guy sense of humor. What are you talking about? You're being really immature right now. No, I'm not. Like I find this funny.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Yeah. It's just you know. Man. What are you talking about? You're being really immature. Like why? Like you're being non-committal. Okay, maybe, but you're just being non-committal. It's not a question of immaturity. I don't like him. He's not mature.
Meanwhile, I just think I'm being hilarious, but it comes off as immature.
Oh man, yeah, no, that's a devastating one.
Yeah, there are just some things that when people say to you, you can't come back from. Like if I don't know, if you're roasting your boys and then one of them says your breath stinks,
it's over.
It's done, man. There's nothing you can do. You got to go to the car, grab your mints, go home, brush your teeth. It's finished.
I travel with mouthwash.
You have to.
I'm petrified of.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I think one of the best things you could say on the field when you're playing a sport, I think the best thing you could say to someone is, a buddy used to say this. He would go, buddy, you're the ugliest guy in the league. Because you can't come back from that. Like, it's so devastating. Man. It's so mean, you know? Like, the guy's actually thinking I'm ugly. Yeah. You know, what's he gonna say? He can't come back and say, no, I'm not.
Yeah. And
throws him off.
And I don't know if about you, but I feel like if a guy told me I'm ugly, it would hurt more than if a girl did. Because it's like, whatever, I can deal with that. But if you know how ugly you have to be for a guy to say that you're ugly?
Yeah. And guys have a little bit more of a meanness to it. I think women, it's a little bit, when women do it, it's a little bit more it's a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit more backhanded maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What am I offering you? You're ugly. It's the way they tend to do it has a tone that isn't as I don't know. It doesn't bite quite as much. If a guy tells you that, it goes back to high school, man. You feel like you're 14 and a guy's like, because here's the thing: when you're 14 in high school and guys were arguing stuff, they weren't really like. Now, if you're just shooting the shit with someone and insulting someone, you're kind of. I think there's a different level of argument when you're an adult. Having an adult argument could still get ugly, but I think, and it could still get petty, but I think kids are really mean.
Oh yeah,
kids are really mean. They have a mean streak that's unmatched, man. I think they'll tap into stuff that they know will just twist the wound. You know what I mean? So
they know how to get you.
They'll be like, your dad's an alcoholic or something like that. They'll throw whatever, they'll throw whatever they have at you. So I think when a guy will say, if a guy were to say that you're ugly, bro, what am I like? You imagine you're in a bar fight, bro. What are you gonna do? You're fucking ugly. You couldn't get anything if you wanted to. Like it's like there's like a kernel truth to it. Like this guy's not just saying it for no reason. He's not calling you an ugly motherfucker. Like if I call my friend ugly, he's not ugly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's different.
Fuck out of here, you ugly motherfucker. It's not the same thing. But if you're like actually pissed and you call a guy ugly and you're laughing, it's like, what are you gonna do? You're fucking ugly.
Yeah.
It stings,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that. I remember when I used to play soccer, I don't know, I wouldn't talk as much smack as my other teammates because obviously I was like one of the shorter guys on the pitch. But like for the small chance had it actually happened and you start arguing with this guy and then he just does like a looking down at you thing. Like if you're sure you ever see those players do that like in professional.
Devastating. Yeah.
Man, all I could do
People
is
have done it to
walk
Messi.
away.
People have done it to Messi.
Exactly. And he can't, after that, he can't do anything. Like maybe he can talk about his trophies and all that stuff, but I was playing rec, bro. You can't do anything.
Messy. Yeah, he's Messi, man. You could get away with it if you're just playing rec. It's over. Yeah.
You have to just admit defeat sometimes.
Who's the ugliest footballer you've ever seen?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like easy choice would be like Ribery or something.
That's a good shout. That's a really good shout. I'm trying to think. I
feel bad saying that because obviously he went through some traumatic experience when he was a kid that caused that.
Well, you don't look very good now.
Yeah.
It's what it is. What it is. What about Gervinho?
He's up there.
He's up there. It's a bad hairline.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. I know a lot of times, especially recently when I'm doing some work for like, if I'm making a video or a post for Holland, but just like his face is a little strange at some angles.
He's so ugly, he's hot.
He's got to that point, yeah.
It's different. I saw him modeling on the cover of GQ.
Yeah,
this week.
He's got that. Was it Pete Davidson? He's got that vibe going on. Like he's a ugly hot type of thing.
I guess so. He just looks like a mongoloid, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good word? What is a mongoloid?
Like a cyborg or something?
Yeah. Is a mongoloid a person with Down syndrome? If so, that's not really what I intend. He looks like he might have a touch of the Downs, but that's not really what I'm referring to. In French, it's a Mongol. Mongol is like it's like a derogatory term for like a person with the Downs.
Okay.
What is a mongoloid? You have your phone?
Yeah.
I want to know whether we have to cut that out or not.
Let's see.
I don't know. While you do that, while you look it up, I don't even know how I would spell that. Mongoloid.
A mongoloid baby.
Oh yeah,
it is related to Down syndrome.
No, never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Well, I guess it's kind of.
Oh yeah.
Well, he kind of does look like one a little bit. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean Holland. Who else is there?
I mean, I'm not taking that out. I'm keeping it in. It's what I said. I mean, I guess I kind of knew. I kind of knew what it was. Why was that the word I referred him to? Hang on. Why was that the word I used if I wasn't sure what it meant? I think I kind of deep down. Yeah, it's like it was like fucking the back of my amygdala, and I knew. Is the amygdala the subconscious part of the brain? I don't even know.
But you know what's funny?
I'm an idiot. But
So I saw a TikTok the other day, and a guy was rating. I don't know why this is on my For You page, but a guy was rating the hotness of players, and Holland came up, and he gave him a 0 out of 10, and his theory was because it just looks like he has a touch of Down syndrome.
He has a touch of the Downs. Okay, he looks like a little bit of a Mongol.
So I don't know if this is a generally known thing across continents.
Well, it's because he has no eyebrows. It's because he has no eyebrows. His eyebrows are very light. I don't know what it is. Just a touch. Again, as I said, just a touch. He doesn't, but he looks like it a little bit. But I don't know if it necessarily makes him ugly. I think he kind of was. Again, he's so ugly, he's hot.
Yeah, he's past that threshold, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole segment's running a little dry now. I'm not editing anything out.
No,
but I'm a little rattled by the fact that I'm just trying to psychoanalyze myself and think, why did I refer to him as a word that that very clearly actually applies to him, but thought I might have been referring to something else? I think I just started covering my ass immediately. I was like, oh, I meant like a cyborg. But you don't look like a cyborg. No, it's a mongoloid. I'm owning it. This is what he looks like. Whatever. I was right.
Yeah, if you're gonna say it, I guess just own it.
Yeah, but I was, but I forgot what it meant for a second after I said it.
Gotcha.
It's like I knew what it meant, said it, and was like, wait, am I using the right word? I do that a lot. I'm not very well read. That's the thing. I'm not very well read. I don't read enough.
Who has time to read?
My proficiency in the English language is not anywhere near the level that I would like for it to be. So that happens often. I often, I fuck up words all the time. I thought that might have been another one of those incidents.
I don't know if you're reaching that point because you're getting to your mid to late 20s, but I had a few of my friends where once we got to like the 26, 27 age, everybody just started reading books.
Oh, really? Is that on the horizon for me?
Well, I don't know because it just never hit me. I mean, I tried it once. I bought a few on Amazon and I find myself like racing to get the page done and I just don't have the attention span to do it. But I know like a lot of my boys are like, yeah, I've got into reading recently.
They're lying.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I never actually see them read.
Dude, I've lied about reading so many times. I'm reading this book. I've told people.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was working corporate,
yeah,
I'm reading this. You know what I've been doing at the start of COVID? I've been, actually, you know what happened? We had a group chat. We had like a Teams chat.
Yeah.
And we would like communicate and stuff. And at one point we were like, people were like, hey, a couple guys were like, I've been working outside and it's really been helping me. I've been working on my balcony, getting some fresh air. And I'm like, yeah, I've been reading a lot. I think reading is great. I'm making a point of reading. I wasn't reading shit.
You reading the Twitter search?
I wasn't reading fucking anything, bro. I was watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Wasn't reading anything. Lied. I've been reading. I've been reading a lot. It's really been, helping me maintain my sanity.
Oh, yeah. That was good. Maintain my sanity. That was a big thing during COVID.
No. I've lied about reading for years. Barely do. I got a book right there. I lied to myself. I took a book.
You brought a book here to not read it?
I've not started it. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a football book. It's called Among the Thugs by Bill Buford. Apparently it's one of the leading books on hooliganism in English football.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will invoke it whenever I have an opportunity to discuss ultras and hooligans in England.
Yeah.
And I will not have read it.
But you didn't did you even start it?
I've not started it, but I got it with me. And I could show it off and say,
yeah,
this is one of the leading books on hooliganism in English football. It's the leading work on the subject.
Plus, you just look so much cooler if you're carrying books around.
I might start reading it. I only really read on vacation on the beach. So, like, I read I blitz, like, 2 reading sessions a year over the period of a couple days.
Gotcha.
So sometimes it'll take me a year to finish a book. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it'll take me a year and a half to finish a book because I'm reading 200 pages in 3 days.
Yeah.
And that's it. Again, like how long's a book? If it's 700 pages, if I'm on vacation a couple of fucking days a year, right? Or if I'm on a beach a couple of days, how many days? If I go on 2 vacations a year, 2 vacations a year, then I'm on like a beach, then I'm just chilling doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm reading for maybe I'm reading over the course of a handful of days. That's it. I'm not finishing that book if it's too long.
So you're saying a book could potentially span across 5 vacations?
I read at a good pace.
Okay.
I read at a good pace. My girlfriend says I don't. She's wrong. I do. I was going to take a shot. It's not nice. It's not nice. I was going to say we don't read the same things.
Yeah, you're being immature.
Yeah. I don't like fiction. I don't like rom-com novels.
Yeah, okay.
My mother loves them. My cousins love them. My aunts love them. My girlfriend loves them. Her female, I think women just love them.
Yeah, and they plow through them.
They plow through them because it's a very easy read.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Again, who's smarter? She's reading, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not reading, I'm barely reading at all, right? She gets hooked into a book and she reads. I commend her. I think women are more disciplined too. Just by the way, I think
so.
They'll pick up a book and I don't know. That's what I think. They like their vibes. They like setting the mood. They like having, a bedroom that they've curated to feel a certain way, a certain temperature, and they like getting into the covers and having their book, or watching their show. I don't really do that as much. I'll watch shows by accident. I'll watch to procrastinate.
Yep.
or if I'm, I'll fall asleep on the couch watching a show. It's not good. It's not as healthy, right? So they're actually more responsive. They're more mature, maybe. They're better at curating their life choices and stuff.
Yeah, we're just different species, man.
I guess.
We've come to that point.
But yeah, so my girlfriend says I read slow. I don't think I do. I think I just, I like to understand what I'm reading. I've been so condescending before. Because again, it's not like I'm reading these books every fucking week. I'm reading them over I'm going months between sessions.
Yeah.
But like I've literally hauled a book around. Dude, I was such a piece of shit. I think I hauled a book around for like months to my girlfriend's house every time I would go over during one of the COVID years. In the summer, I'd go over to her house and there was very little to do. So I'd bring the book in case we like just sat on the couch or sat like on the patio furniture outside in case I wanted to read. It was Inverting the Pyramid by Jonathan Wilson. It's a fucking monster of a read.
Okay. About
like football tactics and the history of football tactics. It's a big book. It was so boring, bro. So boring. And I couldn't get through it. God bless him. I like him as a journalist, bro, but I couldn't get through the fucking book. Okay. And my girlfriend's sister was making fun of me for hauling this book around. I said, read one page. Tell me what it's talking about.
Yeah.
It was a piece of shit thing to do, but she zoned out after like 2 sentences. I'm like, you see what I'm talking? Like,
yeah,
it's a different beast here. So, but then it was very immature. I use that as an excuse. Like, you see, this is hard. What I'm reading, I gotta read it slowly. So I want to understand.
We are immature then, I guess.
Well, I am. I'm not morphing you in.
I would do the exact same thing though. So yeah. I guess
whatever. So, but no, I like books on like history and stuff or documenting stuff that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like fiction. I don't like works of fiction.
I can't do it either. I think the last book I bought was one associated with like Mr. Beast on a successful YouTube formula. And dude, this thing was like a full-time job trying to get through. And I just found myself like,
because of all the lingo.
Yeah. And I found myself like, oh, I have 3 pages left of this chapter. I'm just going to skip it and go to the next chapter type of thing. And I don't know. It felt like work to me.
Like you're studying.
Yeah, it felt like studying again, honestly. And I didn't feel like I was getting anything from it. So I guess when I think of my mom or my sister reading these 400 or 500 page books in like 2 days, it's just blasphemy to me. But I guess they just resonate with it differently.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't want to read some of the books that I read, bro. Like if I gave my yeah, if I gave my girlfriend Among the Thugs by Bill Buford, I don't know how into it she'd be. Like she tunes out when I try to play Rogan. She says his voice pisses her off.
I don't think he has much of a female audience because I tried to do the same thing.
Yeah, have you ever like foisted clips on her?
Yeah.
On your girlfriend?
Yeah, all the time.
And she's like, "What are you playing? Why are you playing this for me?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, it's something I thought was interesting, but okay, fine. I guess we won't." Immature again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is something meaningful to me. It's important to me, man. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really. I wanted to share it with you.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I wanted to share it with you. Now you're just kind of crapping on it, and it doesn't make me feel very good about myself. But okay.
Yeah, I've done that with Andrew Tate clips a few times, and it just did not go over well.
Yeah. He's free. Fucking A. It's a dub on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Dub on the board for the boys. Yeah, they went hard for him, man.
How long was he in there? Because I saw the interview when he came out yesterday, and this was the first time he was seeing
3 months.
3 months, right?
Yeah.
So it was last year they got him. But was it
end
before
of the year? Yeah, end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I remember I was live podding with Jenna Letty, who I started the pod with. We were podding at Christmas, and I think the news came out literally on the pod.
Wow.
And I was debating. I don't know why, but I was debating like what should I say about it. I was in my mind. I was like, no. They came for him. No. And I didn't want to be, but my instinct was to not say that because I thought Nick would make fun of me for it because I don't think he liked him as much.
Did you address it at all on the pod?
Barely. I think I was like, oh, well, all right, it is what it is. But in my mind, I was like, no.
You were struggling.
I was like, it's like my leader. Fuck. So stupid.
Yeah, that's like sometimes when I watch clips of like people on podcasts or live on Instagram, it's like it's their live reaction to seeing that Kobe Bryant died. I don't know why this is on my YouTube, but it's just like people finding out that celebrity died live, and I just for some reason I'm just like attracted to seeing their live reaction to it.
Kobe's a funny one, yeah. I don't know why, but it just is because I feel like there are a bunch of people that just because so many people loved Kobe in a way that was almost weird.
Yeah, like cult-like almost.
Cult-like, yeah. To the point that, to the point that, like, when he dies, it's like, it's not fun that a guy died. I mean, there were people that died on the fucking helicopter with him. Like, death is not funny. It was an accident. It's too bad. But, like, it is kind of like, man, it's there's something almost enjoyable and cathartic about seeing people just have their innocence ripped away live in real time.
Like, realizing that life is just heartless.
Maybe, or just them being, dude. Can you imagine, like, if Ronaldo died? It wouldn't be funny. Like, I'm a Ronaldo fan. He's still a footballer. I like watching him play, and it's like, because I've watched him play for my club. Like, I feel like we feel personal attachments to people. It's weird, you know. You know, to the point that, like, we refer to his wife by, like, her first name on a first name basis, Georgina. We know who she is.
Yeah,
like,
right away.
Cristiano Jr. Like, we know his son.
Yeah,
like, it's weird. Can you imagine if he died? How incredible it would be to see people's reactions to it. Just on Twitter, these people be like, "Nah, man, I'm crying for real. I don't get it. Life's unfair." It's like, bro, he's not your grandfather. You know? You know, he's the guy. But it's if Tom Brady died, you know. If LeBron died, it's like, dude, 'cause, you know, it's people that cling to the accomplishments of others.
Yeah.
You know, it would feel like they lost their accomplishments. Like the accomplishments of this guy died with him, and everything that they've always associated with him and the way they identified with him. It's like it all, like that piece
Like
of
it
their
never
identity
happened
died.
almost.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like that would just be crazy, like creepy, crazy. And that's what happened when Kobe died.
It's strange. I feel like that's...
Does that make sense? If Messi died, Messi's like, listen, man, I would cry, man. It's fucking Leo Messi.
I think I would too. I mean, even for if everything he's done for the sport, even if you're not a massive Messi fan, I feel like it would just hit you.
You could cry, man, when you hear about, like, a random person dying.
Of course.
Death sucks, you know.
Yeah.
If a story's told a certain way, it'll get you.
Oh yeah.
So it makes sense. But, like, just imagine the impact it would have. Like, it's kind of what happened in Naples with Maradona. So, you know, my job is to be cynical about it and say, all right, he's not Christ reincarnate. You know, I know we're talking about him like he was, but what are we doing here? I know, okay, he meant a lot for you. And it is sad. There's, like, grown men crying. Like, you know, you could tell how old they are. They're 52 years old. So you know that, like, you know, when they were 21, maybe he was, like, a symbol of hope for them. Like, that actually has touched me before. I saw a guy with his glasses on, like, doing, you know, on his knees. You know, I'm not a cold piece of shit. I get it, man. But part of me is like, nope, don't be, you know, gotta make fun, gotta poke fun, gotta be cynical.
I guess somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
that's where you come in.
What were you gonna say? I cut you off. Sorry, you were talking about Messi.
Shit, I don't even know. But now that you brought up Maradona, actually, I don't know if you watched the HBO documentary on him.
Yeah, of course.
So do you remember when Napoli won? And one of the craziest scenes of that whole documentary is when they won the Scudetto, and then it cuts to the cemetery, and then they spray painted on it, and it says, "You have no idea what you've missed," because all the dead people never got to see Napoli win.
Fuck,
dude. And that just I when I saw that, I paused it because I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, that's how big it was for them. Like, going to their dead loved one and saying, like, you guys missed out on the craziest thing. That scene stuck out to me for some reason on that documentary, and now that you brought it up.
Yeah, man. When we won the Euro last year, I can relate to that. Like, I thought of my grandmother who died a few months before, and was like, fuck, she's not seeing this.
Right?
She's not seeing this. Yeah.
I mean, based off what you believe in, maybe she is seeing it, but
wow, yeah, but
that's a whole different story.
But but whatever. Yeah, so whatever. You don't know what you missed. Yeah, it's interesting. Fuck that. All right, let's pivot. Let's not be can't get emotional. Can't get emotional. Push it down.
Yeah.
Push it down.
Yeah. Under the rug. Goes
no
right
more.
Under the rug.
It's enough. It's
Okay.
enough. Anyone that fucking cries because a footballer dies is gay. No, can't do it.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. So
What else? What else you want to talk about?
Kobe. So why was I talking about Kobe?
Do you think that's the biggest
We were talking
celebrity
about-
death since maybe like
Yeah, for sure. One of.
yeah?
Definitely.
Because obviously MJ and Elvis, like when they passed,
Since Elvis, yeah, probably. Or MJ. Michael Jackson, you mean? Probably, yeah, biggest since Michael Jackson, probably.
but the only thing was with Michael Jackson, like he wasn't at the peak of his stardom when he passed. You know what I mean? And I feel like Kobe was just a few years past it, so it was still fresh. We were so used to seeing Kobe like on the screens every day, maybe 2 years prior to his death. You know what I mean? Whereas Michael Jackson, there was maybe a good decade where he was just in the news for unfortunate incidents and court cases and stuff like that. But that Kobe one was just wild, man.
Here, let me play devil's advocate and say there are a lot of artists that have died at the peak of their powers, like in their prime, before they had a chance to like have a period of, being less prolific and also, grow into living legends. Because here's,
So 27 club members
yeah.
and stuff like
so
that.
Hendrix, for example, I think was, I don't know.
Kurt
Hendrix
Cobain.
was huge. Yeah. So again, Kurt Cobain was huge at the time. Hendrix was huge at the time that he died. But I think if he had a time, if he had had the ability to kind of like become, I don't know, I'm thinking like Bob Dylan maybe, how Bob Dylan kind of was like an impactful artist of that same period, and then he kind of continued to live and maybe wasn't producing stuff as prolifically anymore, but he became Bob Dylan, the reverend figure for like that era. He was like one of like the symbols of that era that was still alive, and he's kind of become like a living legend as a result. It's like Hendrix never had the opportunity to become that guy.
Yeah, it's almost like a wasted potential type of thing.
Well, maybe, but here's the thing. So, Kurt Cobain's a good example too. He died when he was a star, to the point that like had he probably put had he put an album out the year after he had died, it probably still would have gotten a lot of traction, right?
For sure.
You know what I mean? He hadn't reached the point where he was putting stuff out that where interest was waning a little bit. So when you die at the peak of your powers, it adds to like the legend and the mystique of the rock and roll and stuff. But I don't know. I think it doesn't enable you to become like part of the social like ethos quite as much. Like Michael Jackson, if he had died in 1985 as a star, I think he would have been a blip. That's not fair. He still might have been the king of pop, and they probably had already crowned him the king of pop back then, and I think his music would have lived on, but I don't know if it would have been as impactful if he had become I don't know if it would have been as impactful a death if he hadn't lived through the 90s and had controversy and changed his skin pigmentation and undergone all those surgeries and become like the butt end of jokes and stuff. Like he became like a really prominent figure in American like pop culture beyond his stardom as a performing artist.
Yeah.
So I think when he died, I think maybe that it was impactful because he was at a point where like he was too young for people to have like imagined him, being at a point where he might die. It's not like he's like 82 years old and it's like, oh well, okay, we lost a legend. He had a good life and he died. No, it's like he kind of died young. He died of like weird, due to weird circumstances. But he had time to like marinate and become like the legend who people can look back on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
As opposed to the guy who's like the guy now. Like if Post Malone died, it'd be a big deal. People would be like really sad. Touch wood, you don't want him to die, but whatever. It'd be a big deal. People and his music would live on, but I don't know that it would be the same as if he became the biggest artist in the world. Yeah. Imagine if Drake, like in 20 years, or in 15 years, say Drake just falls off a cliff, right? And I don't know that that'll happen because he's really good at like keeping up with trends, but and setting them. But say Drake falls off a bit of a cliff and starts doing some weird stuff, starts selling barbecues. I don't know.
Struggling for money.
Yeah, and maybe starts acting again a little bit.
Okay.
He doesn't quite have the same punch in music anymore. And then he dies age 52. I think that would be a big deal because he's like he'd have been one of the he was one of the biggest stars on the planet for over a decade. And maybe if he had had a chance to wane, I think it might have had a similar impact to like what we had with MJ. Maybe. But now that I'm thinking about it, if Drake died today, it'd probably be a bigger deal than Michael Jackson. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's naive because it's probably wrong. Because I was 12 when MJ died, so I guess I just never lived through him. So now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably complete bullshit or very similar. It would probably be very similar. Actually, it would just affect different generations differently. Probably.
Yeah, and that's like one of those things where you remember exactly where you were when you got the news.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably Kobe though. Kobe since MJ.
Yeah. I agree.
Prince, I don't think Prince was as big a deal. He didn't transcend culture as much.
Avicii?
Nah.
You know what one really got me? Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Just because
Norm Macdonald.
Oh, Norm,
for,
yeah.
You know, for me, but
Yeah.
yes, within like the space of comics.
There's been a lot, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, people die all the time. You know, people. I don't know. Celebrities, I think, get involved in more shit too. Like they just because I think they have access to, you know, higher quality, you know, methods of sedation. I don't know, like the everyman will just drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you have money, you have access to resources, maybe you'll like get, you know, maybe you'll get like a doctor who will get you on a cocktail of drugs. So maybe, you know, maybe that's why it feels like it happens more with celebrities. But yeah, it's never fun when it happens. But it's shit that always happens fucking every year. Celebrities that die, whatever. You know, the big ones are I don't know. I don't think Norm's one of the big ones. You know, he's
to some people
within the context of comedy, he is. He's one of the greatest comedians of all time. I think there are a lot of people that definitely remember where they were when they heard the news because they didn't know he was sick and shit. A lot of comedians were definitely like really severely impacted by it. But like, you're not going to tell me that like people in like Thailand know about him like they did MJ, you know, or Kobe. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I was watching a documentary on Supermax prisons recently.
Okay.
Like a week ago.
The Netflix ones?
No, it was on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
I think I've seen the Miami one.
There's a Miami Supermax prison.
I think so. Or it was like World's Worst Prison, and this was the Miami version.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And it was on YouTube with that guy, Louis Theroux. You know that?
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, it was a BBC one, right? And he goes into the prison and he's like sitting down with them, asking them questions, like playing dumb, asking why the whites are here and the blacks are there and the Mexicans are there.
Meanwhile, he knows. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, dude. One thing about those prisons is I never understood how those guys have such a hard time following rules in society. Then it's like they get into prison and they become like cops. They police police the prison yard and like implement all these rules. What are you doing?
Yeah, and they're like trading snacks and everything, and they just somehow they become civilized.
Yeah, or they're like, well, why do all the whites sit over here? Why do all the blacks sit over there? It's like that's just how it is. Mm-hmm. It's just how we do it. It's just the rules. It's like, what? You're just following these like arbitrary rules now, you know?
And
I mean, it makes sense. Like, there are repercussions, but there are also repercussions of doing shit.
Of course,
in real life, right? Like, so it's like they couldn't follow those.
Dude, my latest obsession is there's a show on A&E channel, and it's called, I don't know if you heard of it. It's called 60 Days In.
Okay.
And it's these people in the public that volunteer to go in jail for 60 days. Sorry. And
it's
so
like a Stanford prison experiment.
Almost, yeah. So what happens is the camera crew goes into the prison and they say, "Listen, we're filming a documentary on this whole prison, so we're gonna set up a bunch of cameras so that this way the prisoners don't know that there's snitches and spies coming in."
Okay.
And the main goal of these volunteers, they have a talk with the warden before, and they're like, "Listen, try to find out as much info as you can on drugs, shanks, whatever." And these people go in for 60 days. Some of them don't even last maybe 4 or 5 hours, but there's some instances where some people go in and they're just running the pod 20 days later.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're controlling the stuff that comes in. They're controlling the groups. They're enforcing people getting beaten up. It's wild.
Yeah, you know what? I think everyone should go through that. I don't think it's good for everyone, but I think it'd be a cool experiment for everyone to go through just to know what type of person you'd be in a situation where you actually have to like resort to like Darwinistic, you know, like
extremely primitive
survival
stuff.
of the fittest shit. Yeah. Like I wonder, like, because I was just thinking, I wonder what type of guy I'd be. Would I be a bitch? Would I be?
I feel like most people would, and it's so easy to.
Fuck, bro. Fuck.
It takes a strong person to like take control of I don't know, 70, 80 guys that you haven't met before.
Yeah, I'd want to do it just to try.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to try.
I want to do it like it's a video game where, like, if I get shanked, I just die and I restart.
Yeah.
you know, or just the game ends, it's game over.
You just spawn to the next pod. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, man. This one Supermax prison that I was watching on that I was watching the documentary on had a basketball court.
Okay.
With like nice lines.
Interesting.
Like nice lines painted. It had been like recently done. I was losing my mind. I was like, what the fuck? Dude? Like, can we meet? Why don't we like? Can we at least make the fucking basketball court look a little like ratchet? Can we like
with some weeds coming out or something?
Maybe have like the lines. Maybe at least make them look a little decrepit. Like, do you ever see like those Common Project shoes?
Yeah.
Where it's like they come pre-beat and shit. Like maybe like paint the lines a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe make the netting like that chain link thing.
Yeah, and half of it's hanging off.
Make it feel like somewhere the criminals hang out at least.
But this was like a state-of-the-art court or something.
I was shocked, bro. I was shocked that they have access to basketball.
Interesting.
Like, call me crazy. I think if you murder someone, I think you lose the right. You lose the right to have the ability to fucking go Kobe.
And then so this is a max security prison, you're saying?
Apparently, yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, I think if you rape someone, you don't get to yell Kobe. I think even if you're a real Kobe, and he had gotten convicted, if there was any justice in the world, God had to intervene for that one because the fucking humans fucked up. Kidding a little, not really, kind of, whatever. If Kobe had gone to jail, okay, I think if you're in jail as a rapist, you rape someone, I think even Kobe shouldn't be allowed to yell Kobe.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Can't even say his own name.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the rule. You shouldn't have the ability to yell Kobe on the basketball net. He should be resorted to doing it in the canteen. I appreciate you coming on, sir.
Oh, dude, anytime.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add or anything on the brain that you want to get to? We've barely talked about any football at all.
Okay, let's touch about it maybe for a little bit. What's going on? Club football's back this weekend.
Right. At the time of recording, yes. I don't know when this is coming out, but it might come out next week. So,
okay, so
sure.
club football just came back a few days ago, maybe a week ago.
Right.
I think we got some good games coming up in the city this weekend, or the past weekend, should I say, whenever this drops.
Napoli, Milan. So this is going to be the weekend that Napoli officially claim the title.
This would be it, right? I mean, mathematically, when can they do it?
I don't know. Probably soon.
It's got to be coming up, right? The gap is massive.
Oh, yeah. If there's one city I'd love to be in right now, it's that one. Just to see what's going on.
I mean, yeah, the vibes are probably immaculate.
Oh, yeah, buddy. No, I know. As a football pilgrimage, that's like the place you'd want to go right now.
Sorry, you said something before the pod that I definitely relate to. How when we were talking about Juve, how you just said that like your passion's almost gone for it this year, or at least it's a little lowered. And I feel the exact same way. I found myself sort of doing stuff in the background while the game's on for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It almost feels like a chore more.
Let me ask you something. You don't have anything going on this afternoon, right? This evening you have a dinner, but this afternoon you're good. You're chill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They're playing in the afternoon. You and I are going to go watch. We said we're going to grab a bite and we're going to go watch after.
Yeah.
Are you excited to go watch something Hellas Verona, or are you just excited to go out and do something on a Saturday? Because right now, we're meeting for the first time. I'm liking our vibes. I'm like, you know what? We're both Juve fans. Let's go watch them.
Yeah.
But like normally, I'd be like, fuck it, I'll throw it on because I got to see what's going on.
Exactly.
Is that you? Because right now I'm excited that we're going to go watch the game together. And I will watch it, I guess, because it's there, but I'm not looking forward to it.
I feel like if we go somewhere that has decent food, I'm more looking forward to the food than the game being on. Because, I mean, I enjoy watching them, but it's just like, I don't know if it's the style of football or just everything that's happening, all the controversy and stuff. It's just taking my passion out of it for the year. I don't know if it comes back next year. Maybe the summer transfer window sort of helps reset it, but I just felt it getting lower and lower as the seasons have progressed.
The witch hunt reignited my passion briefly for a week.
Me too.
For a week.
Yeah.
I got mad. I had thoughts. I was sharing them. This is a witch hunt. You guys are fucking us over.
Yeah.
You don't know. I turned into Pesci in like Casino, you know?
Yeah.
You motherfucker, you only exist out here because of me.
Yeah.
And then it went away.
And then
slowly.
after, by the time the massive Napoli loss happened, I was just like, okay, fuck, I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. Because if we had beaten Napoli, it would have been like, we still got it. We're still in it, you know? Who knows? Then we lost to Monza again, but fuck, man. Monza. Lost to them twice.
Wow.
I don't really have a greater point to add, but I was thinking about how nuts that is. Yesterday I was on the episode's not going to be out for a little bit. This one's probably going to come out before this other one that I'm referring to. But yesterday I was on the pod with it doesn't matter who I was on with, actually. I won't say it. You'll see in a week. It'll probably be out in a week, guys. But a topic was broached that I found interesting. Like and we debated it a little bit more in a little bit more detail on this other pod, but this idea was floated, like, hey, like if a bunch of like legendary footballers who are now retired, who are in like their 40s, maybe 50 years old, but like who are, relatively fit, if they played right now, how would they do in Serie A, for example? Like Kaká, Zidane, but like them now, you know, maybe they can go on gear, maybe they can go on EPO, maybe they can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they need like therapy and they have like physiotherapists to like manage their joints and shit. But like, I think, man,
What did you say? Because I don't think they would get last place.
I don't even remember what I said. I think I deliberated for a little while before giving an answer, but I think they'd probably have to get relegated. Is I think what I ultimately said. I don't remember. I think I made a case. I don't remember. But here's the thing. How's this? It's easy to understand the case for them maybe getting relegated when you think that like Monza, who just got promoted, fucking beat Juve twice. And I get that Monza's one of the better teams in the league now. Actually, like I think they might be top half. If they're not, they're not as bad as some of the fucking teams that have been doing this poorly. I mean, the table doesn't lie. But what the fuck, like. You really think that like pro footballers who are like in their prime, who are in their fucking 20s and 30s, you really think that Sampdoria, because they're having like a dog shit Serie A season, aren't going to be able to run around a 50-year-old like you know, Zidane?
Yeah, I think eventually like
Cannavaro.
Talent plays a huge key, but age, like nobody can outrun the age. So if it's a bunch of 20-year-olds playing a 50-year-old,
the debate is like really rooted in, I think, the kind of how about this? I think your opinion, where you stand on the matter, I think, is affected by your experiences playing Sunday League if you played in private leagues as a younger guy. Because I've been a young guy, I've been 20, and I've played against 50-year-olds before who were like clearly a lot better than me back in the day. They run circles around us.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's happened. But then we've also like destroyed them sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Where it's like, okay, like you're no match. You're no match for our fucking, you know, for our alpha fucking. Like bow down, you know. You fucking betas. You fucking you can't even fucking twisting your knee. Look at it, we're fucking running circles around you, motherfuckers. You know, it was. Yeah, both have happened. I've seen it go both ways. So it depends what school of thinking you're more. You know, you lean more toward.
I think they would probably win a few games instead of but I mean, if you just keep the ball away from them,
I think they just get physically dominated on like aerial crosses.
Yeah,
and shit,
I agree.
You know?
Especially in the second half, if
they lose all the aerial
drowning.
battles too. I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good debate, actually.
Yeah, but you realize how good the level of football is in any of these top leagues. You do like a lot of these guys who are like playing for relegation bound sides are playing for their national teams. They might play in World Cups. So, yeah,
that's true.
It's a high bar, man. It's a really high bar. It's a competitive league. There's not a big. There's often very little gap, bro. In the fucking Premier League, man, there's like 4 points, I think, separating like 9 teams, I think, in the bottom of the table.
Yeah, the competition is insane, and I don't know if you feel this way as well, but speaking of Monza and how they beat us twice, I think younger me would have been pissed for like 4 or 5 days, which obviously I was, but then there was like a small part of me after the game where it's like, fuck, I'm kind of happy for those Monza fans because it probably made their month.
You're maturing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
You know what? You know what's really sad? This is a damning indictment. Maybe this is a very patronizing thing to say to Juve fans, especially to Juve fans all'estero, who fucking aren't even from Turin, you know. But it's condescending either way. But I'm happy for Napoli. I'm happy for Napoli fans.
See, that's
they would never say that about us. But, you know, I'm happy for you. Salud. Tip of the hat. Enjoy, little man. You know, that's what it comes off as. But I am happy for them.
Yeah,
you know?
and like once I think it was easy because we've just been bad the whole season, so I've been accustomed to Napoli winning it. If it was like a last minute win that Napoli won the Scudetto, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've just grown accustomed to, hey, listen, Napoli's gonna win, and I'm sure all those people, they're gonna have a massive party.
Yeah.
And let them enjoy it because they deserve it, type of thing.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, man. Yeah. We'll see. Well, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it for sure. They're gonna do it in any fucking week now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure the city will be rocking when they do it.
Oh yeah. As you said, fucking immaculate vibes. I wanted to go there last week for the Italy-England game. It's like the best city in the world to watch football right now. It feels like.
Have you been to that stadium?
No, never.
Me neither. It's on my list.
I've only ever been to Italy really when the season is off.
Right.
Except for like the start of the season.
Right.
I've never caught the tail end of the season. I'm thinking. No, I've come close, but I've never quite caught the tail end of the season. But I've caught the beginning of the season, and I've gone to a couple games, but I've never gone. I want to go to Italy in like February.
Okay. I've been to Turin in February, and it was honestly
it's probably awesome. Yeah.
It was.
I've never been in the winter months. I'd like to go see my family in April or something at Easter. You know.
Yeah.
Or like do it like Italy at Christmas or something. You know, like I know a guy who went to the Vatican Museum, I think in like January, and he said it was a ghost town. He felt like he was like a pope, just walking through the hallways. I'd want to do that, you know.
Sure, because everybody goes in July and August. Almost.
Oh yeah, it's unbearable. You're not even looking at stuff. You're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We're gonna die. We're claustrophobic. Let's keep moving.
Keep moving. And there's like child abductions and stuff because there's so many people.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe, bro. Yeah. By Cardinals, actually, dressed in civilian clothing. Funnily enough,
that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Dressed in civilian clothing, just posing as innocent grandparents.
That's all right. And I don't know if, so I just booked a trip in May to go to Italy too. I'm gonna go around Sicily.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I didn't even know they offered this, but when I saw this was like the catalyst of me booking. But they offer like a tour to visit all the spots where they filmed The Godfather.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
makes sense that exists.
Yeah, so you can go to like where Pacino got married and stuff, and where like the car blew up and stuff like that, and then you can go have lunch at the bar there. So I'm like, I feel like that's just a bucket list thing you should go do.
Yeah, you got to pinch your nose and do it.
Yeah. A bit expensive, but I'm like, fuck, it's worth it.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. The Sicilians are profiting off of that.
I don't blame them for milking it, to be honest. I'd do the same thing.
Milking it off of like Korean tourists and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Godfather.
Yeah. Double-decker bus and stuff,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The one thing is, like, I think you might lose your mind if you go to that thing, though, bro, because people that are, like, too into the mafia are weird.
Yeah.
People that I think it's actually going to be a lot of Americans. Now that I think about it, it's probably going to be a lot of, maybe not Americans. I think you have, like, a lot of, not necessarily Americans. I think you'll have just a lot of people that are just fascinated by that whole world.
Yeah. People who romanticize it almost.
Yeah. Like Salt Bay, dude. I went to Salt Bay's restaurant in Mykonos, which I'm not proud of.
Okay.
And his picture's everywhere. There's like a weird cult of personality going on. In the bathroom, he's dressed as Vito Corleone.
Unbelievable.
With his face on Vito Corleone's body with the rose at the wedding doing this. Like, I feel like he would like to go on that tour. Like, guys that get tattoos of Pablo Escobar would like to go on that tour. You know, French rappers would go on that tour. There's a French rapper named Freeze Corleone.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy named Lacrime, this Algerian guy.
Okay.
Who had an album, I think, called Corleone. Like, a lot of like guys from Marseille, I feel like, would go on that. You know, they would go on that tour. You know?
Yeah. Take pictures with one of those Instagram captions claiming to like
be part
of the lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like that type of weirdo that's really into mafia culture, and then there's like the other type of guy, which is the American one. I like it. It's about respect.
The old timers,
the mafia, but some of them are like younger guys.
Oh yeah, now it's coming back again.
You know, some of them like read about it. They're like mafia historians. You know, I heard that the Massachusetts outfit. You know, this guy's out now, and I saw a tweet the other day from a fucking guy saying, "Looks like this guy's now at the helm in Massachusetts." And you know, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
these fucking losers, man.
Yeah, for some reason I'm part of a mafia subreddit. I don't even remember joining it, but it's just like...
No, it's fine. You probably joined it when you were a kid. I would have done it like when I was a teenager. I was fascinated by that shit too.
I think it was like Netflix just dropped a bunch of mafia movies and I just rode the train, but it was just like so-and-so is now the head of the Chicago outfit after
the
this
Bonanos. The Bonanos are now run by this. It's like, bro, the Bonanos are dead. It's not 1982. What the fuck? You know, the Bonanos are dead. It's not 1982. It's going to be run by a Puerto Rican guy in 40 years. And by the way, I'm in favor of that. You know, just the whole thing is stupid. It's getting to be a little bit comical now. It's you got to have 100% Italian blood.
Yeah.
It came over 200 years ago. Don't matter. You got to trace it back to the old country. It's like, bro, what the fuck's going on over here? What are you doing? You know, what are you doing? It's a weird American crime syndicate, you know, which I don't know. I don't know the level to which they still exude any power. I really don't. I don't know. It's not the 80s anymore. I think Giuliani fucking destroyed them in New York. I have no clue. I know that it's a lot of like in Montreal, it's a lot of like small time shit. It's a lot of like, you know, guys going on missions, fucking doing jobs for you know, I don't know. I don't know how organized it is. I don't know if there's a Godfather and if there are capos and if there's a whole fucking hierarchy that you could draw in Montreal anymore, you know?
Yeah, is there even enough for them to make a whole structure out of it?
Feels like people that are doing that are kind of like it feels like police officers that are doing that are getting off on it a little bit. It's like, first of all, they're reaching. It's like, oh, this guy's the capo regime of the family Rizzuto, and I'm doing a French guy because that's who the constable in the fucking the Quebec Sûreté du Québec probably sounds like. It's like our version of like the RCMP, you know. The Italians, they have the omerta, and this is very, you know, he broke it. This is very big for the police over here. It's like, bro, he never took omerta, bro. This is some fucking guy from the bar. What are you talking about? He's some fucking loser who's just goes and breaks people's knees. He's not a made guy. What even is a made guy anymore? Do they even still make guys? I don't know. Maybe I'm naive.
I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. And there's that. Do you know that big mobster on YouTube that Johnny Francis guy?
Yeah. Michael Francis.
Oh yeah, sorry, Michael. Yeah,
and Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, now they're boys apparently, but that guy just sort of.
He's born again.
He's born again, yeah, and I guess he can speak about whatever he wants now because he's done his time and stuff. But I don't really know how. I'm pretty sure other mobsters would hate the guy, no, because he's just talking about everything he shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah, I think a lot of those guys are dead though, bro. Honestly, that's
true.
You know, I think he's the only guy that kind of like survived from that era that I know about.
Yeah, because he's pushing almost 80.
Yeah, and by the way, if I'm wrong, yeah, he looks good for 80. By the way,
I know
he's on TRT for sure, which is good. He should be. No, and by the way, if you're gonna correct me, right? If right now, not that like I think people are gonna comment. Nobody, but barely anyone listens. I don't give a shit. My point is, if you're listening right now, okay, and you think that I just said something that's fucking untrue, where I said that Michael Francis is the only guy that's still around from that era, and you're like, no, he's not. There's also fucking Sal the Maniac from. Shut up. Nobody can. Stop. Curb your instinct. Get rid of it. If your instinct is to say no, there's other guys from the era, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's weird that you know that. It's weird that you know that. And you could know that by accident, but it's weird that you care if you're fuming right now.
Enough to comment, yeah.
Not even a comment, just to even note it yourself. Like if you're listening in the car right now, you're like, no, he don't know anything. So and so are still around from the neighborhood. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know. I think if you could get out of that life, I think it's a cool thing to have done as a side quest. Imagine you had a little foray, you were in that world for a little bit, and then you got out. Now you just own a place in Miami, you own a place in Florida. You're like, you go to church.
Yep.
You have a legitimate business, whatever. You've washed some of the money. You won. You have a kid. You have a wife. I don't know. Maybe you go on a reality show.
Yeah, that seems to be like the natural train of events.
Like Gaudi's kids are all like on a reality show now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or grandkids or whatever.
Yeah, they had that show years ago, I remember, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's funny actually because I saw a video the other day.
If there was any indication that the mob was dying.
It's that show, yeah. But the video I saw was first off, again, not sure how this got recommended to me, but as soon as it did, I was so interested in it. Yeah. And it was that house from that Gaudi show that's now abandoned. So this guy visits like abandoned buildings and stuff like that, and he went to go through this house, and it's just torn to shreds, and it was like on 50 acres, and it's just all remnants of John Gotti in there. Wow. And it was the creepiest thing to see because it's like so many meetings and so many calls are probably done in that house, and now it's just sitting there with leaves and trees coming through the windows.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's getting eaten up by the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. I don't know. It just got foreclosed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, abandoned houses are strange. Abandoned house, like you ever go down like a YouTube rabbit hole of watching people go to like seemingly abandoned houses? You just think that they're haunted.
Immediately.
You just think they're haunted. I don't know why, but there's something about a fucking house that's falling apart that makes you think that you're not coming out.
Yeah, there's either homeless people in there or ghosts. It's one of the two.
Yeah, what's worse?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably take my chance with homeless people.
I'll welcome the ghosts. Yeah, no, I'll welcome the ghosts, bro. I'll shake hands with the devil. Fucking homeless people. You kidding me, bro? You fucking kidding me? Dude, I was in a bathroom at a Tim Hortons on Queen West yesterday.
Yeah, that's a rough area.
I didn't. I know. I had to take a shit. I went into a fucking bathroom. There was a guy knocking on the door. He knocked on the door like 7 times. I was like, dude, I'm in here. What the fuck? So you think I'm having fun? I'm in a fucking Timmy's bathroom right now. I opened the door and I was like, you know what? I get it. The face that was staring back at me was like, oh, all right, get in there, have a good time, you know?
Enjoy.
Yeah, no, I'm taking my chance with the ghosts.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
When you put it that way, I feel like you're probably right.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, no. I didn't know. I had no idea. But it's like everywhere you go in Canada, man, it's like you go to the fucking... Yeah, I have a theory that like the downtown area of any fucking city, like wherever you have a Burger King and a Foot Locker, you just want to avoid like the plague.
Yeah. Or McDonald's.
Yeah, but like wherever the Foot Locker is in a downtown, avoid like a fucking plague. Doesn't matter what city you're in. You could be in Cleveland. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like
Fresno.
Just find them in the worst areas for some reason. And it's not even like the stores are bad, but they just happen to be in the worst spots.
Yeah. No, do not go to coffee shop next to a fucking Foot Locker in an
Mm-hmm.
urban jungle. Do not. Yeah. You will see dead people on the floor. I saw a dead guy on the floor. I think he was dead. I don't know. He's probably dead now. He wasn't dead then.
Was this while you were here, or was it a while back?
No, it was 2 days ago in that same Tim Hortons.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not a real surprise. I mean, it's where they hang out. It's where they congregate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I didn't want to take a shit in the Jamaican restaurant I was about to go to, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go in the Timmy's first before I duck into the Jamaican place. I should have just gone to the Jamaican place.
Probably a lot safer.
It would have been a lot safer, yeah. Too. 100%.
And cleaner too.
Yeah.
But now you know. Now if you ever go back there, go to the washroom before.
Just going to Woodbridge now, man. I think I'm gonna live out the rest of my week here. Just going to the fucking Italian neighborhood. Just stay with my own.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Man, anytime, bro.
This
This
is
is such
cool.
a good time.
So we'll go have a bite now. We'll go watch the UA game. It'll be fun. We'll keep this rolling, listeners. Appreciate you tuning in. Where can people get at you, Dan?
Just Colo99 on YouTube. Bunch of videos.
What was that? What'd you say?
Colo99 on YouTube.
Okay. I know it's Colo99, but I thought you said it a little quickly there.
Yeah.
don't know if people might
Sorry.
have-
Yeah. Check them out if you want. Would mean a lot.
Okay. Insta, what are you?
Same thing. Colo99.
Okay.
And yeah.
It's not Colo.99. It's Colo99.
No.
Okay. Beautiful. Listeners, get at us on all platforms right now. I think at the time that we're releasing this, it'll still be at Calcio Podcast. Yeah, it'll be Calcio Podcast. Okay, so at Calcio Podcast, that's us. Cool. Sub to the YouTube if you haven't. Give us a rating. Give us a like. Whatever. Up or down. Apparently, it all helps. So, yeah. Say something in the comments. Say hey. Say bye. I don't care. Just say something. Apparently, it helps the algo. So, yeah. We'll catch you in a couple of days. We have the live pod that's going to be recorded in a few days. Geneletti and I are going to be riffing in front of a room full of degenerate wops. That'll be fun, and that'll be released as a live. The live episode will be released as a bonus episode in a few days at the time of release. So stay tuned for that. We'll release that in a few days, and until then, we'll catch you soon. Alla prossima. Ciao.
Ciao.